Maintaining peace at home should be the priority of every human being, because that is your sanctuary. Your family is your support system. So if that system is good, then you can face anything in life. So think about it, and if there is tension in your house, if there is negative energy like this in your house, Namaste and welcome to Alpha Mind Powers channel. Many people have this habit that they are very good to everyone outside. They smile and talk, they make people happy, and they spread a lot of happiness. They keep smiling all the time. But once they come back home, then they are very angry with everybody. They talk negatively, and they make everybody unhappy also. This is there in so many households. I've heard so many people complaining about this, complaining about husband or wife or sometimes father or mother, that you see how nicely they are moving with others outside. They have a very good name outside. But when they come home inside, they behave so badly. This is a complaint which we come across very often. Now the problem is, such people behave like that only because they do not understand the effect of their anger, the effect of their negative behavior at home, how it affects everybody, how it affects the energy of the house. Now recently there was one of our Alpha Siddhas, one lady, she came for online counseling, and she was talking about this. She said, in the last 5 to 6 months, everything has changed in my house. Before that it was so good, and now the whole atmosphere is very bad. And I am talking to you just to find out if there is something that I can do to set it right. Then I asked her about her background, the family. Then she said it's only husband, herself and 2 children, one boy and one girl. The son was studying in the 11th standard and the girl in the 9th standard. So grown up children, teenagers. So she said earlier we were a very happy family. We used to do a lot of things together. We used to go for movies, we used to go out and have good fun, and otherwise everyone used to be busy because she is also working. So she said in the morning it's a huge rush. Children have to get ready and go to school, and I have to go to office, husband also goes. So all of us are in a rush in the morning. So that's how it has been. But evening we come back and then we all talk, and it used to be very good. But in the last 5 to 6 months, she says, everything has changed and it has become so toxic, it has become so negative, I don't know what to do. I somehow have to change this, she said. Then I asked her what happened 5-6 months back. And she related what happened to me. She said she and her husband had a huge quarrel. And it was mainly because of his parents and her parents, something which they spoke or some function which they could not attend, all this, and something about the relatives. So it was all external factors, but influencing them, and both of them were arguing for their own side, and the quarrel became very big in front of the children. And so because when the children are also there, then you can't give in at all. So each one was so egoistic, and she said we let a lot of words spill out, and both of us were very unhappy, and the whole atmosphere in the house became bad. That was 5-6 months back. And then she said, but after that, both of us have been carrying that anger. That is something, she said, I was able to feel, because even for very small things he used to get very angry, and I also used to get very angry. And then children became kind of very quiet, they were in their own room sitting quietly, not talking to us. We were not talking to each other. The whole household became a bit quiet and silent, and I could feel the energy was becoming a little negative also. And she said this was going on, and children's studies also were suffering. They were not doing as well as they were doing earlier. I could make out that their marks were going down, and I was getting worried about that also, because the boy is in the 11th and this girl is in the 9th. Next year again board exams for both of them. And she said as all this was going on, some 4-5 days back again something happened which triggered a lot of negativity, she said. And she related what happened. She said her husband came back home one day, and probably he had some problems in the office or whatever it may be. When he came back home, the daughter was sitting in her room and studying, but the son had just come out of his room. He had finished his studies, he had just come out and switched on the TV. So as soon as the husband came inside the house, he saw this and he started screaming at the boy that your marks are going down and you're not studying. Who asked you to switch on the TV? Why are you watching the TV? Why can't you go and study? And your mother doesn't bother about all this. So he pulled her also in. And then he went and scolded the daughter also. Although she was sitting and studying, he said, your marks have also come down. None of you is interested in studies, and whatever, this way you will never come up in life. And all those lot of words came out. Now this mother, this lady, she could not keep quiet because she felt this boy was studying so long. Just then he had come out. And when the husband spoke so badly about the children, she felt she had to defend them. So she came out and said, why are you simply shouting at them? You can also come home and be with them. You can support them. You are not supporting us in any way. You simply come and shout. Outside you are laughing and talking to everybody. But whenever you come home, you are always angry. And she started screaming, spilling out lot of words. So this became, worse. And then she said, after the whole quarrel was over, everybody was, that silence was palpable. You could feel the silence in the house. It was so bad. The energy was so negative. Now she said, everyone has kind of lost heart. Nobody is even smiling. Nobody is doing anything with enthusiasm. She said, I cannot let it remain like this. I know that something is terribly wrong in the house. I have to make it all right. And is there anything that I can do? She said, I'm talking to you only for that. Some advice, some guidance. Then I told her, see, this is what happens in many houses. And people don't even realize. See, when there is anger in the mind, the thoughts are very negative. And when such quarrels happen, okay, quarrels will happen in the house. You can't avoid them completely. But the point is, once you have quarreled, you have shouted, you have screamed at the other person, both have screamed, both have shouted, then at least everything has come out. You have vented out your feelings. So after that, you should become all right. But she said, see, this 4-5 days when this quarrel happened, the next day, husband became very sick. He couldn't go to office. And she said she had to go to office. There's some important work. But she said it was such a bad day. She couldn't get an auto. She got delayed and there was a lot of traffic. She had to go. She went very late to office. And then whatever she had to do, everything was messed up. And she said the whole day was a struggle for me. So that is what happens. See, the anger from the other person is continuously coming towards you. That will affect you. That will affect everything. When there is such negative energy in the house where one person is angry with the other person all the time, the whole energy of the house comes down. It becomes very negative. So what will happen is it will affect the health of the people in the house. It will affect the money flow in the house. It will affect anything, whatever is good. Children may not be able to study. Anything good cannot happen easily when the energy is so bad. Whatever money has to come also may not come. And lot of hurdles may come in the way, in your day-to-day life. So I explained all this to her and I said that now you have to call your children and your husband, or you talk to your husband, do something, but make everyone understand that the whole energy of the house has got spoiled and it has to be brought to a better level, for which everyone should be willing to let go of their anger, forget whatever happened in the past and speak to each other properly and break that silence. So then that's the best thing to do. Even if there is a quarrel the next day, do not carry it over to the next day. See, whatever happens, if you have peace at home, then you're the luckiest person, because whatever problems you meet outside, when you go out into the world, you go to work and you meet so many people, there are a lot of problems. But if you can come home and feel good and peaceful, and if you can say, no matter what problems I face in my life, when I reach home, I feel very peaceful, then you are the luckiest person in the world. Maintaining peace at home should be the priority of every human being, because that is your sanctuary. Your family is your support system. So if that system is good, then you can face anything in life. So think about it, and if there is tension in your house, if there is negative energy like this in your house, make it your priority, make it your first most important task to get rid of all that tension, to bring back a good energy into the house so that everyone can do their work properly and everything can be much more positive. You can definitely do it. If you put your mind to it, you can definitely do it. Try it and see. And let me also know how you feel.